Hey, what's up, everybody? You tuned in to another episode of Strategic Moves. I'm your host, Kenn Dowell. This is a place where I bring art, culture, politics, and business all together. We do it every Sunday right here on this channel. But when I'm not shooting this channel, I am the owner of Strategic Resources. We specialize in political campaigns, government, and public relations. Been doing it all around the state of Ohio for over 20 years and met some very interesting people along the way. And I want to make your next move a strategic move. So this program gives me an opportunity for me to do just that. Introduce you to some of the people I've met, some of my friends. We get to share our experiences with you, and hopefully something out of that you will get will help you in your business and your life. But if this sounds like something that you'll be interested in, all I need you to do right now is hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and give me a like if you like what we're talking about. So hit the like button, hit the notification bell as well the next time this program is coming on. But today, we got a special guest in the house, DJ. How you doing in there, Mr. Lateef?
I am doing great.
That's great, that's great, man. I got a long time friend of mine in the place today. This guy, I knew him before he was an elected official here in the city of Cleveland. I knew him. I grew up actually with his brother, and I grew up in this community. This horn is going to get a lot of play today because we only play this special sound for one community and one community only in this community, in this city, and that is Glenville.
Tar Blooders
in the house. It's going to go. That's all we do. The Tar Blooders. I got Mr. Tar Blooder himself in the house.
Mr. Tar Blooder.
Mr. Kevin Conwell, Councilman Kevin Conwell is going to join us. But before we get started on that, Lateef, what's going on with you, brother? How was your weekend?
My weekend was good. I played a little baseball. I didn't play a little baseball. I got to watch a little baseball. And something that Mr. Conwell might want to get involved with, too. They're really trying to bring back inner city baseball
baseball good.
Because from when I used to play baseball, when I was a kid, it has gone way down in the inner city. It's like black kids don't even like baseball anymore, or they're not being exposed to baseball. But there's some great organizations out there really trying to bring it back, and I was excited to be there because that was one of my main sports.
You know what? That was our main sport as a kid growing up in Glenville. That was one of our main sports out there. We played a lot of baseball. Baseball was our first sport. Then it was football, and basketball came along a lot years later. And we played baseball. I tell people all the time, we used to play on blacktop.
Yeah,
right over there
like
on Mount. It was nothing like with a hard ball. Oh, we didn't play that. See, y'all playing with a tennis ball. We did that we used to play baseball, hardball on a blacktop up in Miles Standish, man. We was straight up hardball. And you know what?
Parkgate Pierpont.
Yes, Parkgate Pierpont. Here goes something even more crazier about that. When the ball would get messed up, you know what we would do?
What?
We would wrap the ball in black tape. Can you imagine? Yeah, you wrap a baseball in black tape playing on blacktop. Yes, we used to do that, man. We was serious baseball players. And I'll tell one more story, and we're going to get our guest in here so he can really talk about it. I was fortunate enough to grow up next door or 2 doors down from a gentleman, and his name is Michael Hedden. Right now, he's a local guy here. But he was actually the Cleveland Indians back then. It was the Cleveland Guardians now, but they were the Indians. Back then, he was the Cleveland Indians bat boy.
Okay.
Yes, he was the bat boy. So he was down there, and he was the bat boy for the visiting. When you became the bat boy, you were the visiting team, and then you go over to the regular team. So he was down there, and for years he was doing that, and he would bring home like buckets of like baseballs or bags of baseballs that they would, because then after they hit a ball or they scuff it, they toss it to the side.
They just throw it in the crowd or throw it away.
Yeah, he was bringing those home. So we always had baseballs. And here was the best part. He used to bring home their cracked bats. And when they would crack a bat in practice, he would bring them home, and we would take them and retape them, and we would use them.
Yeah, so duct tape.
Duct tape them, man.
Yeah. Duct tape solves everything.
Yeah, man. And we would reuse them on that blacktop playing baseball. So we were actually playing on blacktop using professional baseball equipment and using their stuff. We did a lot of that growing up, so I was very fortunate at that.
That field down at League Park is a nice field, man.
Yeah.
That's nice.
That's a gym down in Cleveland.
It is.
That's for a field to be that nice.
Yes.
In our neighborhood, that's a gym right there.
That's a gym. All right, everybody in the house today, we got Glenville's finest, Mr. Tarblooded himself. I really forgot because I have a pride shirt here today, but we got Councilman Kevin Conwell in the house today. Let's give it up for Councilman Conwell. Yes, Councilman. We're really happy to have you in the house, man. It's a pleasure for you to be on our program today, sir. We got a lot of history and a lot to talk about. Kevin, before we get started, sir, give us a little quick background, because you're a councilman and you guys always got y'all stump speech. Give me that. We on the time limit, so you got to give me that 2-minute stump speech. Who is Councilman Conwell and where do you service? Because my show is worldwide. I got people all over the world watching this program, and everybody don't know who you are. Everybody don't know what a councilman is, and everybody don't know Cleveland. So tell them, who are you? So Kevin, Councilman, where you grow up? You got to give us the quick spiel. You grew up.
It's only one community.
What's that?
That's Glenville.
Oh,
the Tarblooded in the house. The winner of 4 championships.
Okay.
The football this year. Indoor track, we won that statewide. Outdoor track, we won that. And the girls could not be outdone. They won also the statewide cheerleading championship all this year. So the homes of Mighty Tarblooded are homes of winners.
Hey, so you went to, you graduated from Glenville. So you lived in the community you represent all your life.
All my life. I just left for a little while and I moved to Los Angeles to play music, but it's still my ties is Glenville.
We're going to do a really quick one on it because I always do a quick background. So, Councilman, you graduated from Glenville. You went off to college.
I graduated from Kent State University. I have an undergrad degree at Kent State University. Really, my undergrad degree is in Pan-African Studies. And I also have an MBA, a Master's in Business Administration, and 2 other degrees. One is in business management, the other one is in purchasing and procurement management. And you know I'm my PMP,
Yes,
project management certification.
Correct.
So the MBA as well as with that. So I dig all those things, man. It's
the
really
golden
cool.
flashers, boy.
Golden Flashes, man. The Golden Flashes.
I think Lateef, you went there too, didn't you?
Yeah, that's my school too.
All right. So after you graduated from Kenn and you came back home, we were talking a little bit because you were just telling us then how you then got into your activism in the community. You started doing your Fatherhood Initiative program, which you have founded, and you were recognized by the president, right?
Yeah, right. As National Father of the Year.
Now, what is that about?
It's a beautiful thing. It was from helping to pioneer the fatherhood movement and going out and recruiting dads and teaching dads that they need to be engaged with their children. When you look at what they're talking about, crime in the community, they don't talk about manhood and fatherhood. And that's what we were doing in the 90s and working with dads, even when they were in prison, inside, outside dads, teaching dads to have a relationship with their children so that when they get out of prison, they don't want to go back into prison because they become nurturers and they're working with their kids. Yeah, so that stuff helped me out. Being an activist, it gave me an up-close view and a genuine concern and a sensitive ear so that when I got into council, people like you yourself said, you know what, Kevin? Councilman, that you don't owe anybody anything. You got in, you were blessed to get in on your own. That's how I approach things as a maverick. When I see things not right for African Americans as well as other people, I step in and I make sure things happen.
Conwell, when did you get elected? How long you been in council now?
You helped put me in 2001, Kenny.
I appreciate
you worked with me.
I worked with you. So you had since 2001.
I've been there since 2001. Okay. And I've been blessed never to get under 80%.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
You're one of the hardest serving. You got lots of numbers over there. One of the things we're going to get into, because we jumped into the political thing, but you took a minute off because you said you went to L.A., right?
With Los Angeles, man.
What you doing in L.A.?
Trying to make it into the arts, into the musical world out there in L.A. I met people Count Basie, Ella Fitzgerald, Herbie Hancock. I'm thinking about I even met Muhammad Ali when I was out there.
So how you get to L.A. and tell me the transition into music, because everybody who knows you knows that you're into music, but again, everybody in the world don't know you, so we're explaining them. So how did you get into music, and where did the music part come in?
The music part came in when I was a younger guy. I was 12 or 14 years of age. I'm getting older now, Kenny. And a nun named Sister Joseph Therese at Martin DePore Center asked me, she said, Kevin, what do you want to be? And I told her, I said, sister, I want to be the baddest, the toughest drummer in the whole wide world. And she said, I need some help in the neighborhood to do things, to get back to Glenville, to feed people in the whole 9 yards. And guess what? And guess who was my partner she hooked me up with?
Who?
My wife.
Really?
She was 8 and I was 12, man.
Really?
And she probably knew then she was going to be my boss. Yvonne Conwell, yeah. And so we were working together in the neighborhood, feeding people and going to places, doing certain things. And we were very good friends. And to this day, we're great friends. We've been married 38 years.
Wow.
Yeah, we started back then, man.
Really?
We were just really good friends, man. Because she lived on Green Lawn, and I lived on Pierpont.
Right, that's correct.
And Martin DePore Center, the location is right off of Adams on East 105th Street.
That's correct.
So it was a nun that put us together, and this nun got me into the music. And then I left from there, and I went to Kent State University and received some scholarships, some money.
So you played music in college?
Yeah,
You was in the band?
Yeah. You know, a lot of my buddies, man, we toured, we played, and some of them guys, one of them guys, Niles McKinney, rode out, and he played with the Daz Band, and Niles went to play, I think he did a little stint with Michael Jackson, and then he had Reggie Pittman, played with Lionel Hampton, and we had some guys in the band. They eventually went to start playing with Levert and the OJs, but I'm glad I went for it, what I did. I kept playing and traveling, and then I went and I picked up my MBA, so I'm glad I did that.
So when you were playing, how far did you go with your music career? I know you constantly play all the time. You practice a lot. Yeah, you do all the local stuff around here. Did you play with any big famous folks, Kev, along the way?
No, man.
Really?
You know what?
I
had an audition. I was going to play with it.
You know, people come in here, yeah, I did, blah, blah, blah. It's okay, you never got there. Huh?
Nah, I never got there, man. You know what? Greg Fields, the drummer for Count Basie, had just left Ray Charles.
Okay.
And he hooked me up to go audition for Ray Charles. Mom got sick. She had been doing that sick thing.
Right.
And then I left and I came back to Cleveland. I never got a chance to tour with those cats, man. I wanted to tour with Ray. Ray was, at that time, was heading off to South Africa, and he was looking for a drummer. And that was really good, man. But
So who is you sit back and be like, man, I wish I could have had the chance to play with them. And right now, if you can get your chance, they call your number, dead or alive. I'm going to give you a good one. Dead, they called your number. Who would it be, Kev?
Man, it's a toss-up between Stevie Wonder and Earth, Wind, and Fire. I know some of the cats in Earth, Wind, and Fire, man.
Well, that's
like
Verdine. You playing in
Yeah,
that
I'm playing it, man. They're my cats, man. They're my cats. I met Verdine when I was at Carolina when President Barack, he's a good friend of President Barack Obama, and I was working out, and I looked over there. He said, yeah, it's me. That was Verdine said, and we hooked up. I got his phone number in my pocket right now on my cell phone. But I said, Verdine, I always wanted to play with you guys. And then he said this, how much you make as a councilman? So I told him, he said, I'm glad you became a councilman, because them cats ain't making that much money working for me. So I said, I'm glad too.
Wow, okay.
I'm glad too, man. So I gig out a lot, and as the councilman, so I do, let's say, decent.
Yeah, you like what you do, and that's
the
most
important
part.
I still travel.
So with that, we'll stay on that note a little bit, because we'll talk about the benefits, because we're going to do two sides of this. The benefits of the arts in your life and how important role it played in your life, and some of the ways that you're utilizing that now to help promote and even pass legislation and things along that lines to get things done. One of them, and we'll talk about, is I know a program that you did up at Rainey Institute. You're part of that, and making sure that opportunities for young folks are there as it relates to music. And let's talk about some of the things you got going as it relates to the arts and some of your new legislation you got going.
You know, I want to say this. God bless me. I almost died of cancer. I was 3B colon cancer. I was so busy working in my ward. It's my fault, because I didn't go to the doctor, and I was so focused on just giving service in the neighborhood. And when I would go to my chemotherapy treatments, you saw me. Yeah. You told me take it easy for real thin, still with a big head, real thin. And I would go to cancer treatments, and I would practice. But it kept my mind, it kept me balanced. I didn't realize I was giving myself music therapy. And a lot of people that was in the treatment, staring at the wall, and some of them didn't. So the music helped me out to make it. God, family, and music helped me to make it. And I wasn't thinking about.
So
when I was
let's
going
talk
through
about that a little bit.
chemotherapy.
You say when did you get diagnosed with all of that, and how did that go for you?
When was that in 2014? I got diagnosed.
Was you sick or something, or you just?
I just didn't focus on.
You was always a dude. You was always walking. Matter of fact, wasn't you jogging and running that time? Man. You was always.
I used to tell you I said, I'm not gonna get sick.
You was
I don't
always,
eat meat.
You was always eating
I eat good.
And you just went to the doctor one day, and what happened?
I took my sister to get her colonoscopy, Jocelyn, and she said, "Have you ever had one, Kevin?" I said, "I don't need colonoscopy because I don't eat meat. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I work out every day.
Right.
I'm cool beans, man." And then she talked with me, and Dr. Charles Motlin also mentioned it to me. I said, "All right, let me go get it." So I went to get it.
And how old was you about that time when you did it?
54 years old.
Wow.
They said that tumor had grown in me, man, since like in the 40s, late 40s, around 48, 49.
Wow.
It was a big tumor, man. I was 3B. 3B, a lot of times you don't make it out of there. And when the doctor told me I had cancer, I was stunned. And I went in the back room, and because all I could hear was where I think Eleanor or Eloise tell me that, it sounds like the lady on the Peanuts.
Yeah, Charlie Brown teacher.
Yeah, womp, womp, womp. Yeah, womp, womp, womp,
Yeah, you ain't hearing nothing after that.
I ain't nothing after that. She said, "Do you understand me, Councilman? Do you understand me?" Because people would walk around teary eyes and everything. And so I went into the bathroom. I sit on the toilet, and I cried. But this is what I saw, the meaning of. I want you to hear me out, because you work hard also. I saw the meaning of Christmas, the meaning of 4th of July, the meaning of birthdays, weddings. Because sometimes I wouldn't go to those things. I was working hard, man. Really, to be honest, to be candid with you, my focus was to be the mayor. You write policy, I'm moving forward. And so the wife would say, "Let's go do this, let's go do that, Kevin. I gotta go do this and do that." You get 80%. You have your MBA, you doing this, you doing that. And that set me down. That cancer set me down. And I saw family and friends, I see nothing but that. And I saw the meaning of life. And it's more so when people don't go to get their checkups. It's not about Kenn Dowell. It's not about Kevin Conwell. It's not about John. It's not about Lateef. It's about your family and friends who love you. And I got a chance to see that. And God opened my eyes. And then he said, because I was thinking about walking out when the doctor told me, I said, "Well, I'm gone. You hear that big C word, I'm dead, I'm gone. It's bye-bye. Anyways, I'm going to die." And I went back in there. She said, "No, you got a chance." Christ put his hand on my shoulder and said, "Go back in there and face the music." And they worked with me, and Christ worked with me, and then the music helped to keep my balance. And so I go back every 6 months for checkups, every 6 months for checkups. And that's why I walk a lot of places so I can see what's going on, and also my health. 2 things you need, money and your health, and that's important. You need those 2 things because you can't buy that health, man.
Oh, no, ain't nothing you can do about that.
It tried to come back through my pancreas also back in 2010 and on my routine checkups, because you have to go to your checkups. I mean, I talk freely about it because if it can help and save other people, that's cool beans, man. And then they caught it earlier when they tried to go through the to the pancreas, and that came for early detection. So if the doctor tell me, "Councilman, I need you to be here," or "Kevin, I need you to be here at 9 a.m., I'm there on Tuesday, I'm there Monday night, and you know what I'm saying, at 12 a.m. ahead of time waiting. The doctor said, "What you doing so early?" I'm here.
You didn't
I'm
camp
here.
out.
So I'm there early, man. Going to that, you saw me, man. You came to visit me, man.
I came to you to do some work.
Yeah.
And when I saw you, I was
shit.
just like, man, I heard you was sick, but I didn't. People say they be sick all the time until you get a chance to really roll up on. Because everybody plays it down, because nobody be wondering. I knew you were sick, but I didn't know you were really sick like that.
I was a real skinny dude with
I
the
could tell.
color of this.
Yeah, that's what it was. I could tell that chemo was just kicking your butt, man.
That chemo, man.
It had darkened you up and everything. So
You know, sometimes the treatment is rough, man. The treatment is very rough. Kenny, our band play free. Councilman Conwell and Footprints, we've been doing it for so long. The Lord bless me. The band, if you were to say, "Kevin, I need you to play for breast cancer, ovarian cancer benefit, or whatever," we go in there and we play for free. And when we play for free, sickle cell anemia, we did the NAACP event. we don't charge. We'll go in there and play, and then we'll tell you, instead of giving us the $1,500, you use that towards your mission statement. And then the band, we all get up and we leave. And those some bad cats that's playing with me.
No, you've been playing with them a long time, so you guys definitely. Hey, y'all got y'all unique sound. You can walk in and be like, "That's Kevin."
Yeah, that's property, man.
That's Kevin. I can hear when I get out the car, I'll be like, "Kevin up there playing." I can hear him already. That's those guys. So let's move on to some happier subjects. We're going to talk about what you've been doing in the music. We was talking about what you got going over there. Let's talk about some of the stuff you were able to do with being a councilman and using your position to help expand the arts. Let's go there, and then we're going to talk about community, but I want to talk about arts because I know you, and I know that's your passion about art. So let's talk about that.
But that's a beautiful thing. I really dig playing, and I could sight read very well, the whole 9 yards. And God came to me again, and he said, "This is what I want you to do, because you could do it. You have the clout and the influence to do it." So we created CMSD, Cleveland Music School District, Severance Hall, Arts Inspired Learning, and I'm trying to think of another group with us. But anyway, we created it's called Play It Forward Cleveland. And Play It Forward Cleveland, people donate every year. Play It Forward Cleveland, musical instruments, gently use instruments, trumpets, drums. People that stopped playing, they became political figures or dentists or doctors or lawyers, and they donate us the instruments. So we were storing the instruments at Glenville High School. And then I had City Council, Blaine Griffin, and the rest of the council members, I persuaded them to set aside $200,000. So they would set aside $200,000, and each group, Julio de Burgos, Cleveland Music School Settlement, Rainey Institute of Music, Arts Inspired Learning, we gave them $50,000 each. So the children would go and take free music lessons. When they take the free music lessons, when they finish with the music lessons, then Arts Inspired Learning gave them, matter of fact, over $100,000 worth of instruments, drum sets, vibes, marimbas, because they're just sitting around. And the thing is, it's just like baseball that you mentioned. We talking about out here just arresting kids and arresting people. Baseball, the arts, football, and basketball are similar. It builds character. It teaches self-discipline. Because self-discipline, like when you study, when you go home, you study your homework. Same thing when you play the trumpet, you go home and you study. Self-discipline. And when you study, it teaches you organizing skills. That's character. It teaches you, then that's transferable over to being a good reader as well as self-discipline. And when you have that self-discipline, it teaches you how to be a good person.
Correct.
All those things are very important. The schools took the arts out of the city of Cleveland and it made the city dead. But with Play It Forward Cleveland, that's a beautiful program. We're going to do it again in October.
And how you benefit as a person from that?
You reach out to Arts Inspired Learning for the free music lessons, because now we still have that with Arts Inspired Learning with the free music lessons, as well as, they're the ones that keep it going because they receive a grant from the city of Cleveland. And then for free dancing, free arts, all of that. Arts Inspired Learning is on Magnolia. Beautiful. It's right next to the music school settlement. And Sophia, you call or reach out to her, then we'll bring you in, give you free music lessons, and then we'll give you instruments after the fact. It's better than just music instruments just sitting there. Just sitting around, man. You got to do away with those idle hands.
So what about the new legislation you just passed also? You're getting some new legislation you guys did down at City Hall as it relates to arts?
Yeah, 2 pieces. A young lady named Rhonda Brown, the mayor just hired. She's in the mayor's cabinet. And her job is to build the city up like Austin, Texas, like Nashville, like Memphis, to open up for the arts and to create art districts, murals, and we'll take some alleys and we'll clean it up and we'll sit back and we'll talk with residents and see what kind of arts you want in Glenville, Fairfax, on the west side, those neighborhood, Camp Corner, all those kind of things, Tremont, and we'll create art districts. We also, with the legislation with ARPA dollars, we set $3.2 million aside, and we have arts committee that sits under the planning director, and we have Gwen Garth as a part of that, Vince Robinson, and the list goes on and on. We have some experts to tell how we should use the money, and they're going to put out requests for proposals soon, I think within a month or two. But you have to call Rhonda Brown director, Rhonda Brown, and she'll tell you how to get it done. But she just started a month ago, so I'm very happy about that. And because the city, as you and I were talking about earlier, you had a lot of great musicians, the OJs here, and a lot of musicians, and they left.
That's one of the things we were just talking about, and we'll stay on the arts for a moment, is that I believe, and we both talked about the fact that we believe that part of that is that maybe the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame could do more local stuff for us. And one of the things that came out of this in a conversation was that maybe just doing an exhibit that honored the local folks here and the contributions that local industry. It don't have to be just musicians, but the industry. You had people who did a lot to help promote concerts here that were African American. We had a lot of clubs. We talked about Brody Records being here and places like that. And even you said there were a lot of groups here that were small groups that were legendary in their own rights that may not have gotten the notoriety as some of the bigger groups, but we talked about a lot of their music was sampled a lot from other things that were there that possibly would be good, that maybe their grandkids or someone else can come in and say, oh, this was a club or a place that black artists had an opportunity to go play at, because everybody couldn't play at all those places. And it's not just even black artists. We talk about artists, period. So I would imagine there were all kinds of people, even if it was country music or others, who couldn't get into other places. And there were small places around the city and around our county that people were able to travel and be able to get in and get their music done. And they would be good for you to be an advocate. I got a couple of things we're going to talk about you being an advocate for. One is that, and the other is bringing back a citywide band for our community.
We are working on that.
Yeah, because one of the things I do know, because we both are from Glenville and we grew up in that wonderful community.
Yeah, Tar Blooders.
Tar Blooders. And being from that community and doing what we did there, one of the things they used to do, remember, Kevin, where they used to take the football team and they used to have the band, and the band used to play through the community, and they used to walk through the community and do that, and it gave you a sense of pride of the community, and you wanted to be a part. You was a little kid and was like, damn, that's the high school band that's going there, and that's that kind of thing that was going on. And I think that kind of thing is missing. I do know that the city lacks a lot of kids and everything else, so maybe it should be a citywide band. Maybe it should be one of the schools that we really go in, and the kids, you want to be in this band, and maybe make a big band of 100 students or so that can all be part of this national band that can go be a part of something that we need to have something to be prideful of.
Man, you are so smart. You crack me up. You crack me up. Jeff Allen is over CMSD. He's over the arts. And we met with some young people at 4 o'clock last week. I think it was on the 14th at 4 o'clock at Glenville High School. And that's the idea they came up with. A citywide band. And then we'll take some of the instruments that we have. We'll have a lab band with the jazz. And we'll use some of the instruments from Play It Forward, Cleveland. And then we'll create that, because Jeff said, look, we don't have the population. People are not having children like they had before. So we'll do the citywide band. So when Glenville wins championships after championships championships again, then we have a band, Glenville or whatever their schools. You was in our meeting, man. You must have the room, bud.
I always got
you was at the room, bud. Yeah,
why,
yeah.
Good idea. They always circle around. So let's talk about staying on the arts, and we're going to stay on music and community. What's going on with your Bone Thugs and Harmony signs being stolen? They put the sign up one day, and the next day, both of them gone. They stole 2 of your signs over there in the community. And what's funny about it is that everybody knew that them signs wasn't going to last, especially on the 2 poles that you put them on. You can almost walk up to them and snatch them down yourself.
Yeah,
so they were nearly not as high as they need to be.
Right.
Now, there should be a bounty on that sign on St. Clair, because if you go up there, somebody going to see you climbing up that sign, I'm pretty certain. So I don't think that one's going nowhere. So what's going on in the community with Bone Thugs? Y'all replacing those signs or what, Kevin?
Yeah, we're gonna replace the signs. It's on Anthony Harrison's side of the ward. However, Stephen Stanley, I got to tell you this. When you were young, at my house also, Stephen Stanley with little children at my house. Their mother, Pam House, they call her Mama P, used to sing in my band.
Oh, okay.
On Pierpont, 10221 Pierpont. And Stanley and Steve just down there playing the drums, man. And they down there beating and jumping on all the instruments in my house. And I never thought, and I whispered to Stanley when I was at the street dedication, I said, man, you ever thought this? He said, no, man. I said, you, me.
Right.
I just look at you guys, little kids down there tearing up my basement, jumping on my drum set. So children have to see success every single day. Now look at them. I think that, and to get to your point, it might be beef. Some people it could be a little hate.
They just took that for no right, man. That's a Bone Thugs and Harmony sign. Back in our day, man, I ain't gonna say I took any signs, but I know I can imagine there was a few signs going. You went in somebody's house and be like, "How you get that street sign?" There was some street signs in some people's house back in the day. You could walk in and be like, "Man, what you doing with that street sign?" No, I don't know. I got a street sign. Yeah, that happened. So I'm not really. But
some people were telling me this. The councilman, it could have been a little hate here and there, a little beef with some people. This and that.
It's Bone Thugs and Harmony.
They're my cats, man.
No, I ain't saying it's them. I'm talking about the sign. The sign say Bone Thugs and Harmony.
They had a collector's item.
That's a collector's item.
And they showed when they put it up on the pole, the guy jumped on the ladder and he climbed up there and he was screwed it up. I said, man, why they showing that, man? Why they doing that?
It don't matter. You say you gonna put a lock up there. I'm like, Kevin, what kind of lock you gonna put up there?
I don't know.
We gonna put a lock up there. I was like, okay, all right.
But I can tell you this. It was over 1,000 people there.
Oh no, that's good.
And
that's good.
I'm comparing and contrasting. They got the signatures quicker than any street dedication that we ever executed on. Look at Steve Harvey Way.
Oh, they ain't touched that.
Steve got at least 10 million hits on his.
Yeah, but they ain't touch his sign.
They ain't touch his signs.
They ain't touch his sign. And I ain't saying that because they didn't. I just don't think they wanted it. And I'm just
Steve gonna hear you, man.
No,
Steve gonna hear you.
It ain't that.
You all over the world.
That's no disrespect to Steve Harvey, but they didn't want it. The guys, people wanted that Bone Thugs and Harmony. They didn't want Steve Harvey. And here goes another one that you got going. You doing one for Miss Hattie. That's my old street.
How did you know that?
I know everything. You know.
I told her. I said, Irene, keep that down.
No,
because they only give us 2 signs.
You know what? I was
per
wondering
4-year
that.
period.
And I'm gonna tell you, I saw that and I said, Kevin got. You said the other one went to Anthony. That's how you was slick on that.
No.
Harmony is Anthony.
That's Anthony.
All right.
Leon Bibb got a sign.
So that was yours.
That's mine. Jackie Bell for Glenville High School. She just retired.
Right.
She received one. And then Irene was all over me, man, tearing me up, man.
They hooked you up because you're only supposed to get 2. I noticed that. I said, Kevin got hold on, Miss Hattie going up too? Okay, which is good.
Irene wouldn't let me move, man. Yeah. She was on me. She was wearing me out, man. I couldn't. If you called me on my phone, you're like, Kevin, phone? It's always filled up.
Miss Hattie will mess around and have 1,000 people standing out there for her too. You know that.
Hattie bad, man. She had a lot of work,
She had a lot of work and a lot of people. She done watched everybody kids, so it'll be a lot of people out there for Miss Hattie.
It's gonna be a lot of people, man. She did a lot of good work, a lot of untold stories.
Yeah. So let's just keep it moving because I know we're tight on time and I want to make sure we can get everybody out there in time. Conwell, we was talking about that and we was laughing and talking about the sign being missing and the stuff. But I do want to take a moment and let's talk seriously about some of the crime and everything else that's going on in the community down there in that area where things are going on. What's your thoughts and what you think is some of the things that people could possibly look forward to that you think is going to change? I did see on the news, which was hopeful, that the police department and the highway patrol has a copter now that's out and trying to look, and they made 25, 30 arrests in one day doing traffic stops and things of that nature. So with everything that's going on, the Kia boys as they call them and all that stuff, how do you see crime in the community and what you want to say to some of the folks that are listening who think about the community and what they can do to get things back on track? Or what you guys doing to try to get us back on track? When
I was a safety chair, I wrote a lot of policy. But let me say this, got to be careful. We have to be careful. You need community policing. People to walk the beat, walk the streets, although we're down 300 police officers.
That's a lot of police officers.
That's a lot of police officers. but you need the police. So we can try to get them to know the neighborhood. That way you can get in where the seat of crime is at, and you can do prevention so that people will feel comfortable talking with Police Officer Rice or Police Officer Regis. And so when they go to roll call, they say, this is what I heard. And they'll tell people. But you got to have that policeman right in the fabric of it so we can do prevention. That's number one. The other thing is what you were mentioning earlier. You got to have programming, man. Look at the rec centers. Nobody's in those rec centers. You have to have baseball. You have to have football. You have to have basketball. It's idle
But don't
hands.
y'all offer those now? City offer sports and stuff for kids.
When we were growing up, FDR and Stephanie Tubb Jones, I did away with Patrick Henry name. You had football there. You had football and baseball, and as well as the arts in elementary school.
But don't they have football and all of that in high school? And
it's football in high school, but you got
in junior high.
Not in junior high, and not in elementary school. We had things to do, Kenny. We had those things, and then you have to be careful. Also, because when you look at what happened in the 90s, they locked a lot of the fathers up into prison. And 3/4 of the head of the household was headed by females. And so diversion programs didn't really come to African-American males. You locked them up into prison for almost any little thing. And when you lock us up into prison, and then the son is out there by himself. And then the son don't see daddy and how to grow up to be a man. So we got to be careful. One thing about policy and legislation, you have to manage it so that we can get the outcome measures to see what's going on with it.
But how do you tell that to the lady who's terrified with all the bullets, holes that's going on, all the crime and all of that? How do you explain to them that they can't go to the corner store or do the stuff because of the young guys that's there in their cars? What do you tell them?
But you know what? They locked up, majority of the people they locked up were African-American males back then. And then they did diversion for everybody else, but us, they locked us up in there, Kenny, into prison. And when these guys, they're coming out. And when they come out with their felonies and they can't get jobs, they have all these collaterals against them, and next thing is going to be worse. And we have, in America, locked up so many other people. So that in the short run, in the 90s, they locked everybody up. But when they came out, we're facing what we're facing now. So you got to look at short run and long run. I'm not saying don't have the highway patrol, but I'm saying we got to manage what we're doing. And we got to make sure that it's equal and that you don't just lock up all the black folks and the black fathers like what happened in Oakland.
But those are not black fathers that's causing the problem that we're talking about, Kev. We're talking about these young guys that are out here causing all the trauma and the drama that's going on in the community. And I'm not anti-lock up young guys, not at all, because I'm all about that. But what I'm saying is, and I'm with you on the programming and the stuff, we have to manage it, but there's a big thing out here with the young youth. It ain't the older guys and the guys you're talking about who got out of jail ain't trying to go back to jail. They done got out. They're not causing the issues. We have a problem with these young dudes.
I'm just saying we need to manage it, because the thing is, you have to report back to council, and we have oversight.
But you got a lot of oversight, and let's get in that. There's a lot of oversight. You have got the federal commission that we got. Those guys almost making $1,000 an hour.
Man, they got one guy. I think some of those people make $750 an hour.
And then we got the other commission.
You wouldn't mind doing that at $750 an hour.
Yes, but you got that. That's oversight.
It's oversight.
And then you have the other committee that you just passed. That's oversight.
There's oversight.
And the police got his own oversight.
The police have their own.
So we're like oversighted to death.
But
we're not.
The oversight got oversight.
The oversight got oversight, but the results is still the same. There's young people out here, mainly African-American boys, that are out here that's causing a lot of the crime that is going on in our community, and somehow or another, something has to be done.
We need to push that Young African-American Males, Commission of Young African-American Males. That's
that would be a big start.
Because children...
Lateef, how are you doing? All right. We're going to do about 10 more minutes and we'll wrap up, okay? Because I know you got to get out of here.
All right.
Okay.
The Commission of Young African-American Males, children need to see success every single day.
That's correct.
We had that downstate when Peter Lawson Jones was pushing the Fatherhood Commission, because when he was pushing that, you guys called me, you and Angie, really Angela Wilson called me down to help Peter to set it up, because I was in the fatherhood group up here. they let it die. But we need that, man. We just can't. When you see them going to jail, I know if you do things wrong, you do the crime, you got to do the time, and we have to do that. But we got to do prevention. And I think by doing the Commission on Young African American Males,
that's a form of prevention.
We got to do. It's up to us, Kenny. We got to. You're a good father. I've seen you with your children. I saw you with your son when they go into music. I see you when you go on your coach, the whole 9 yards. They got to see that. And what we can create a Commission on Young African American Males that they see that. Children have to see success. I say this all the time, every single day. But it got to be a balance. You just can't just lock everybody up.
That's correct.
And we got to figure out as African American males, how do we create that? Now, the commission, I talked with Star about it. I know he's working on the Young African American Males Commission. I got to sit down with him. He got to push that through, man. It got to happen, man. And he's young, and the reason I looked at him to do it is because he was a director. Matter of fact, he is still a director at the Boys and Girls Club. And they hire smart people, and they do good things and great things. So we can push that through and evaluate it so we don't lock up all the young African American men.
No, I'm with you on that. We got to
come in there, and we got to work with our people. But I'm there. You tell, man, look, I've had the bomb squad on my front porch because they call the councilman. They don't care about if it's 300 down. I've had the bomb squad on my front porch, Kenny. My house been shot over. I had my little granddaughter, she was 7 at the time, run into the window while they shooting over the house. And I grabbed her down on the floor and she said, "Papi, can bullets go through windows?" I agree with you with that piece right there. Yeah. With the crime in the community, but my activist role tells me we gotta figure out how to save
just throw them all in jail.
Now put them all in jail. But I'm with you, how you tell Ms. Jones when she can't do this and that, and we can't build with all this crime going on. I'm there. But I can't lock all my young African-American males, yams, up in jail.
That's good. Okay, we rounded third. I'm going to give you my questions that gets us out of here, and then I'm going to let you close us out. So my first question I got for you, sir. If you had to trade places with one person for a day, who would it be?
I would have been President Barack Obama.
So you want to be president for a day?
Would have been president for the day. That would be cool, man.
You said president for the day. Yeah. And you want to be Barack Obama. Out of all the presidents, you said I want to be Barack Obama.
Just like you said, trade place with a person, but
no, that's it.
He was the coolest president. He did a lot. He was just a cool dude, man.
What's your guilty pleasure?
Sweets, man.
Really?
Yeah, man. I gotta get off those sweets, man.
What kind of sweets you like? Yeah.
Man, apple pie, ice cream. As much as I walk, I would be smaller if I didn't. The sweets, man. Sweets would just mess me up.
Really?
And now since I'm older, you gotta watch that stuff, man. Even more.
All right, how about this one? What's the best compliment you ever got?
That your wife look good.
Really?
That you lucky you have a gorgeous wife, Councilman.
Yeah, that's a good answer, Cam. That's a good answer. Something you wish you was better at?
Music, man. I go to sleep thinking about music. I wake up thinking about music. I wish I had more time to practice. You know, I dig playing the vibraphone, dig the steel drums. You guys hired me to be a councilman. I spent time writing policy. Although it's similar, because sometimes you wake up in the middle of the night and you think about policy and you think about writing music also. So it's music.
What's the worst piece of advice you ever got?
It's a lot, man. The worst piece of advice. That's a good one, Kenny. You got me. Worst piece of advice I ever got. That's a good one, Kenny. I had to think of it, man. Oh, I won't put him on the spot. I asked someone to tell me when you mentioned about Ray Charles. Kevin, because my wife, we were pregnant with little young Kevin. He said, Kevin, go with him. Man, you need to leave and go and tour Ray Charles, man, and leave the missus there. That's a bad advice, man. You got to be a man. You have to be a good father. And wife look up, and I was right there.
So she was pregnant. They told you go on a tour.
Yep, go tour, man.
Yeah.
I got to be a man like you, fatherhood, manhood. You're both pregnant. Husband, we weren't married at the time, but then we ended up getting married a month later. Your husband and your wife, you married. Now we got married a month before Kevin was born. Yeah, we did. We did April 25th, 1985.
Wow.
Yeah, so we got married back then. And he told me to keep going. Go tour Ray and do that part.
And the family will take care of it. You can take care of that from wherever you have to do. What never fails to make you laugh?
Never failed to make me laugh. Man. Oh, my grandkids, man. They crack me up because they're sitting back learning about life. And it cracks me up, man, when they do things. They just crack you up. They're funny, man. And then they'll say whatever they're going to say.
Wow, you didn't.
She look at
yes.
daddy. Yes. That's why I'm grabbing, holding you back, man.
Right,
Those kind of things, man. Yeah,
Grandkids.
Poppy, can bullets go through windows? Yeah, man.
Hey, Councilman, I want to thank you for coming on our show. You did a great job today, man. Me and you can talk forever, but I promise people that I said I'm going to start making my shows just low enough so we can get the quality out of it and get it going, because I just do shows, man, hours, and people don't watch these shows for no hours, but they'll watch 20, 30 minutes of good conversation, and that's what you gave us, Councilman. So we appreciate you coming on our program and do that for us. So just like I say, we're going to leave all the links in the description of how you can reach Councilman Conwell. If anything you need that he can help you with, you'll be able to click on the links and get that in our description. But Councilman, before we leave, we're giving you the opportunity. This camera right here belongs to you. You can say whatever you want to say to the people. You want to give them some inspiration words, or you just want to close us out. I'm going to give you that camera to do, sir.
When you mentioned about the children in the community, it's up to all key stakeholders, the residents. It's all hands on deck. It's not just the police. Many of my friends that graduated from Glenville High School or East Tech or Kennedy, whatever the case may be, and you went to the suburbs, you could come back. And I know some of you do great work right now, but you could come back, you can join boards, you can stop by while you're driving through Glenville community, stop at Michael R. White Elementary School, FDR, Stephanie Tubb Jones, lawyers, dentists, doctors, even blue-collar workers, and read to some children. Children have to see success every single day, and they have to know that you care. And especially African-American males, if we have 3/4 of the head of the household headed by females, the young African-American males need to see you in there talking with them and caring about them, and that's very important. We really need you to be in the neighborhood and in the community, and that will help us out a great deal. So thank you for listening to me, and God bless.
All right, everybody, that's Councilman Kevin Conwell in the house, Glenville. You will hear more from him as we go through this year and coming up next year, so you'll hear a lot more from the councilman. And we'll see you next week. Peace.